Guys, Mark from the Lawnologist. I've just read this is the driest spring we've had in history, so therefore I'm going to give you my top tips to make sure your lawn stays really healthy and hopefully prevent you from having to spend a shed load of money in autumn to rectify things. So first of all, number one is raise your mowing height. Keep it a little bit higher for two reasons. It reduces stress on the grass, but it also gives the soil some shade, so it stops it from drying out quicker. The second tip is, if you are going to mow, make sure your blades are really, really sharp. A nice clean cut reduces stress on the sward. The other tip is, only mow if it's absolutely necessary. If your lawn doesn't need mowing, don't force the issue. Moving on to watering, another tip is, if you're going to water deep and infrequently. Once or twice a week, an inch at a time. You don't need to water every day unless you have had your lawn renovated or has had some pretty intrusive cultural work. If it's an established lawn, once or twice a week is absolutely necessary, but no more, and about an inch at a time. Secondly, avoid overhead watering during the peak of the day when things are really, really hot. The reason that is, not only does it potentially damage the sward, but it also is higher risk of evaporization quicker. So the real best time to water is first thing in the morning, just as things are waking up and things are starting to move along a bit, or later in the afternoon as the temperature's cooling. However, my preference would be in the morning. The next tip is avoid any damaging or intrusive cultural work. Try and avoid scarif on your lawn. You don't need to do that now. Try not to aerate now. You don't need to do it now. These can wait till autumn. Doing these run the risk of causing more damage to your lawn and drying the soil out. So unless you really have to, don't aerate, don't scarify, and try not to renovate. If you do renovate, then make sure that lawn is watered 3 or 4 times a day and the seed is kept consistently moist. Secondly, avoid any high nitrogen fertilisers. At the Lawnologist, we've developed a plan called the Turf Biotics Plan. It's something that I've written. We're flexing, we're adapting now. We're not putting any granular fertiliser down unless we think we can get away with it, simply because it's just going to sit there. And then we're getting closer to our next treatment period. And then if it does rain and that starts to activate and the new stuff starts to activate, you're going to double dose nitrogen. That is really unhealthy for lawns. So avoid high nitrogen fertilisers. We're going now with more proteins and biostimulants and molasses and wetting agents to make sure that what moisture there is absorbed properly and efficiently. Secondly, we're also advising not to use herbicide unless it's absolutely necessary and you've got a good irrigation system in place. Herbicide unbelievably does stress grass as well as kill the lawns, kill the weeds. So therefore, we're saying we're only going to use herbicide when it's absolutely necessary. Otherwise, we're going to punch the treatments over further in the year when it's more seasonally appropriate. And lastly, if all of those things don't work for you and you can't water your lawn, then dormancy is fine. Leave your lawn dormant and deal with it when the conditions are more appropriate. What we put down will make sure the lawn bounces back and save you a load of money, but just leave it dormant. Don't fiddle unless you have to, especially if you're not going to water. So I hope that helps. That's the Lawnologist signing off. They're my top tips for a drought-safe lawn. Happy days. Adios.